Today is July 9th, and I'm heading up to where the last two logs are, and I realized this morning that I'm out of pallets, so I'm going to take a trip to our local hardware store. They have a pretty big stash of pallets out back, and I have been granted permission before to help myself, as long as I keep the stack neat. So I'm going to get some more pallets, so I have them on hand before I start taking these last two apart. I'll lay the pallets down on the hill there in that little notch there where there's missing pallets. So today what I did early in the morning, while it was still cooler out, it was very humid because we had a lot of rain, but I had to dump our 80 gallons of sawdust because they got wet. They were on this little bridge. And what that means is they get wet, they start to mold up right away, they get pretty nasty. So what I did was I spread it out in the hugel bed. So I got from this area here, past the tree, into this spot over here. This is where we have some plants. I think those are Asian toad lilies, those tall plants. We got columbine in here, all kinds of different things. So I got that all covered up. The next batch of sawdust, I'll work on this side over here. This side hasn't been covered at all, so I want to get some in here. I spot filled some right there for the astobies. Same thing over here. We had a couple of plants, so I got around the plants, but I want to like fill in this whole area with some sawdust. There's another area I spot covered right there. So that's the plan going forward with the next batch of sawdust. I also put a little border around this tree. There's some hostas at the base of it, and I found some porcelain mushrooms that I just kind of stabbed in. So it kind of gives it a nice little border area there, which kind of is concentric with the outside border of the hugel bed. And the hugel bed wall is made out of old firewood. Just made a short like knee wall, and these bricks are from Bob and Tanya, as well as the wood for the little bridge here. So the hugel bed's looking pretty good. I got rid of all the sawdust. So here's all the empty buckets. I keep them close by, so I'm ready to do my cleanup. I can just carry them a short distance over here to the workspace. I'm trying to keep the yard as clean as I can. All the activity is really killing the grass. But when I'm all done, I'll put a little topsoil and some seed, and we'll get this going again. So this is the intended area where I'm going to drop a couple more pallets. And let me show you what we got I'll show you the back side of the wood pile. So this stuff here is some of the first stuff I got done. Some of it's kind of raggedy, so I'm going to just throw that in the hugel bed. That one's kind of rotted. There's some rotted wood here. So some of these pieces are just going to disappear. But there's some really cool moss, so I'm going to lay this nice stick in the hugel bed as like a feature, because I like the moss on it. But there's all the little bits that I picked up from yesterday. I'm keeping some space between the cottonwood trees so it can breathe. And here's the back side of our wood pile. There's one piece here. It's just kind of awkward. I just didn't feel like lifting it up. Just hit it in the back. So this is the back side of the wood pile. So what's going to happen eventually is I'm going to bring down my hydraulic splitter, and we're going to just, split this down into small bits so we can stack them in the wood shed. And all these logs are going to cut into rounds, and then we'll split those as well. So that's the plan going forward. But for today, I'm going to go get some pallets so that when I do attack those two logs, I'll have some place to lay them to keep them off the ground and keep them dry. So I've arrived at my pallet spot. I asked the proprietor if it's okay to take some pallets. He said that it was okay. So these are what I have up for grabs. So I'm going to take some pallets, put them in the van, and we'll have some to put our newly cut firewood on. So what I did was I put a tarp down in the van just to keep it clean, and I'm going to go get me some pallets. One of the things I like to do whenever I take free pallets is kind of neaten up the stack so no one feels like I'm leaving a big huge mess. There was somebody threw in some planks here and they were just all over the place, so it was a tangled mess. So I just picked up any loose paper, neatened up the wood pile, put all the pallets nicely stacked so the next person has an easy go at it and there's not a huge mess. You got to be courteous to anyone who's giving you free materials, so that's what I do to pay them back the favor. So here's what we got in the van. We got six pallets and we're good to go. Anytime I need pallets, I'm always able to get them down at my local hardware store. I've noticed them in many other places as well. So if you can't find free pallets, you're not looking hard enough, because they're everywhere. I've gotten more free pallets than I've gotten of free wood. That's how plentiful they are if you know where to look. So today I wasn't going to do any heavy lifting or heavy cutting or get all sweaty and nasty. I just wanted to get the sawdust out of the buckets, get it spread out in the hula garden, get some free pallets, lay them down in the yard so when I'm ready to cut, I've got what I need to keep the wood off the ground. And we'll attack the wood either tomorrow or the day after. But the yard's kind of squishy from all the rain we just had. So I want to just give the yard a chance to recover before I abuse it again with my antics. That's it for now, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. All right. Well, I gotta admit the price was right. These are some nice pallets. Sometimes you get some that are pretty beat up. These are in really good shape. So I'm going to lay these down and when we do our next work session, we are going to be all set. Matter of fact, I even got extras. I made off with my neighbor's pallets. He had 3 sitting in his backyard forever. So I scored some pallets from him. So what I'm going to do is replace his stash with some that are actually better than the ones I took. That's because I'm a good neighbor. That's the way I roll. Okay, we're good to go on the next work session. We got plenty of pallets to stack this firewood, and I have 3 extras to replace the ones that I borrowed from my neighbor. So we're good to go.